Assalamu alaikum. Okay, guys. So today we'll continue with this week. It is a continuation of last week, so we're still in chapter 6. We are still in chapter 6, week 10. Okay, and we started off chapter 6 in week 9, and we talked about loops, if you remember. Okay, and we talked about the while loop, and for loop. And with this, just excuse me guys for a second, excuse me. Sorry guys, okay. So yeah, and we had we said that we have the while loop and we have the for loop. Okay, now and we talked about how important the loops are by they differ from the if statement. The if statement is a decision. You either decide this, or this, and so on. Now with the while, there's like a circle. Sorry, with the loop. I mean, okay, that's the difference between loop and decision. With the loop, we go in circles until the condition breaks. Okay, when the condition breaks, that's it. We stop the actual loop. Now today we will talk about nested loops. If you remember, we already talked about nested decisions when we talked about the if, and we said the nested if is actually when we had if inside if. Okay. Now we have a nested loop. It's where we have for inside or loop inside loop. So we'll talk about when we have actually for loop, okay, and another for loop that goes inside. Okay, so this structure is called nested loop. And we can continue forever until, I mean, as long as we have to. Okay, we can have another for in here, and we can have another for in here, as long as we distinguish them with these curly brackets. Okay, so let's take an example for the nested for loop. Okay, we'll take an example, right? Okay, we'll take this example. I think it's okay. So that's easy. I always try to give the easy examples, but again, I just want you to understand. But obviously, when you do your revision and when you study at home, you need to look at the slides, and there is an example given in the slides, a little bit lengthier. You need to have a look at that. You need to also have look at external resources as well. Have a look at the book, at the internet, and so on. But I'll give you a simple example to start with. So if we have a for loop, so that's for loop, for, and we'll have the value, we'll give it an integer, I, and this integer I will give it an initial value like we did last week, and let's give it the value 1, right? And then we also, so after this, what do we give? After we give the initial value, what do we give? Not the condition. We give the initial value. What do you need to do now? Well, it is condition, but I mean, obviously, what's the opposite start? Come on, guys, easy. So we give the initial value, start value. What do we need to do now? Now, if I only give initial value, that means the loop will run forever. It will never stop. Are you guys with me? How many are there with me? There's Majid, there's obviously Asil, Mahmoud, Majid. Okay. If I don't see participation, I will mark you as absent. If I don't see participation, I will not consider you for the register. Okay, so it's very important that you participate. And I'm going to set you with an exercise after my lecture, and I will only mark the students who actually attempt the exercise. I will only mark those as attendee. Okay, now because there's no point of me talking to myself, so yeah, we'll give it an initial value that's I equals 1, and then we have to close it. Okay, we have to close otherwise it's gonna run forever. So let's say we give it the value of let's say less than or equal to 3 for simplicity. Okay, less than or equal 3, and after this, what do we need to do? So we've given the start value, we've given the last value. We need to just give me a second, guys. Just a moment. Sorry, guys. Just have some visitors in my office. Anyway, yeah. So we'll have initial value. We have an end value to that, and then we need to do, Saad said, breaks the condition. No, specify more. So again, do you remember what we said about the loop? Always with the loop, we said we have a start value, a finish value, and then what? If we don't have the last item as well, the loop will run forever. Increment, well done, Mahmoud. Increment or decrement, that's right, yes. Either you increment or decrement, okay? So we'll have it increment, because starting at 1 and finishing at 3, so we'll give it an increment. So we'll say, sorry, this is an this is I plus for increment, okay? Until it finishes, okay? Right. Now, this is our for. Now, we can have a for inside this for, okay? So we can have for, we'll set another value, but this time we cannot use I because I already been used, so we have to use another variable, so we'll call it J, okay? So we'll give J some values, and I minus, it's for decrement, but here I'm using increment, okay? I'm using increment. What you just specified now is decrement, meaning like you take 1 out of the number, but now I need to increase 1 for the number, so I'm using I plus for increment, okay? So for the next for loop, which is a nested loop, we're gonna use another variable because we cannot use the same one, otherwise we'll have a problem. So we'll give it a J. We'll give it an initial value of 1, and we'll end at, let's say, 2. Okay, so we'll give it an end value of 2, and then obviously again we need to increment J. So we say J plus. So we increment J. Now what we can say is that's right. If this condition is valid, then do this system dot out dot print line let's say print, for example, print 10. Okay, print number 10. And is this 10 integer or string? Is this 10 integer or string? Yeah, of course, string. Yes, well done. Because obviously we're using these quotation marks, so it is string here. So print the value of 10. Now we close this loop, and then we also close the main for loop. So we have to close both. Now, what do you think the output will be? Obviously, you know, we consider this. I haven't written the full class because there's no time for that. So I'm just writing just the basic procedure, and then if you need to finish it, you need to write the whole class. But what do you think the output will be? Between 10. Well, 10. This is just I've written 10. I'll say it's just me saying 10. This is string. What do you think the output will be? Just have a think about it. I'll give you a minute to think about it. Just just start from the beginning, from the first four, and see what's happening there. Is this difficult? Okay, right. Now let's see what's happened. Okay, this is not a number. Again, guys, this is not a number. It's a string. Okay. 10. Ah, Saad, well done. Well done, Saad. You got it. You got it. Why? Just finish the answer. It's well done. It's, yeah, 6. It will print 10 6 times. Why? Unless you tried it in your compiler, but that's fine. That's okay. Why do you think it's 16 times? Sorry, 10 6 times 10. Okay, think about it. Now, how many times this gonna run? No. Think about how many times this gonna run. 3 times, okay? Because we're saying that I is from 1 to 3. So it's gonna run when I is 1, then it's gonna run when it's 2, then it's gonna run when it's 3. It's 3 times. This statement, this for loop will run 3 times. Now, how many times does this for loop print this statement? Twice. Well done. It's when when J is 1 and when J is 2, right? So it will print twice its statement. So now 2 times 3 is 6. So what's going to happen is that when I is 1, now we're going to have 10, 10. Okay? Because we're asking the program to print 10 twice. Twice. So, okay. And then the program is going to go back. And what's going to do to I is going to increment 1. So I now is 2. Now we run this for again. Okay? And we run it again and we get 10, 10. Now the last step, again, this program will go back because again it's a loop. I told you loop, we always go in circles. It's gonna increase the value because we do an increment here. It's gonna increase the value of I to 3. So now I is a 3. It's going to go back inside this for loop and it's going to print 10 again twice. 10, 10. So yeah, we have 6 times 10. Okay? Right? Okay. Now let me give you another example, which I will also want you to think about. Now we'll have another example. We will say for int I equals 1 I less than or equals 5 I plus plus. Okay, these are the brackets. Right, so this is the main for loop, and then you can write this after me as well if you want to, guys, and try experiment with it. We'll have the nested for. We'll have another for loop for int j equals, let's call it 1 again, to the value of j less than or equals to j plus plus. Okay, so we incremented this. I think, have I given you, I'm reading the same example again. I've given you this example, didn't I? Yes, I have. Sorry. We'll start again. I'm sorry. I'm writing the same example again now. Right? Okay. Sorry. We'll scrap that. Start again. Okay. For int I equals 1, and give a final value. Say I less than or equal 5 I plus plus. I plus plus. Okay. Now we'll have the nested one. So for int j equals 1, starting at 1, j less than or equals 10, j plus plus. Okay. Now system dot out dot print line, oh, dot print, sorry, not print line. This matters. Okay, scrap the line. System dot out dot print I times j. Okay, I times j. I'll have a plus here because I just want to add space, and you will see what I mean by adding space here. So I'm adding space. Okay, you'll see why. After that, I'm just gonna add a new line. So I'm gonna say system dot out dot print line. Right. So here I'm just adding an extra line. Now, what do you think the output will be? Now think about. I'll give you 2 minutes. Very tricky question. Well, it's not actually not tricky, but it's a very interesting question. So I'll give you 2 minutes to think about it. Okay, you're on the actual line, but it's not actual factorial. It's the opposite. And actually, well done. You have factorial in your assignment. So I think this would be something. This would be useful for you to maybe understand the assignment. This is what's going to happen now is opposite of factorial. Think about it logically. Yes, we're multiplying. Obviously, it's I times j. What's going to happen? So what do you think the output will be? Okay, guys, well, some good answers as well. Okay, well, let me change the color so I'll have a bit of variation. Okay, now let's try this. Now, okay, if we enter the first time, now, oh, don't forget, we have multiplication, right? Now, what's the main? This is the main for loop. Okay, so now, when I equals 1, what's the value of j? When I equals 1, what's the value of j? Well done. 1 to 10. Yes, that's right. Okay, 1 to 10. Okay, because j runs from 1 to 10 every time we have an I. Okay, now because I was starting at 1, we need to times multiply I by j, and j is from 1 to 10. So the output will be, so this is the structure. So the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's happening is, when I is 1, we are multiplying I by all the values of j. So we multiply 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, until we get to 1 by 10. Okay? And if you notice, I'm leaving spaces between the numbers. Why? Because I've put these quotation marks for space. So I'm leaving a character so just to organize my work. And when I'm done, the program will jump 1 line. So the program now will be here. So what's the next line values? We finished 1. What's the next values? Now, what's the value of I? Yes, well done. Well done, Mahmoud. So the value of I is actually 2 now. Okay, we finished 1. So the program is going to go back and check what's the value of I. Now, I, we said plus, so increment. So now the value of I is actually 2. So again, yes, well done. So the value of I is 2, but j is still from 1 to 10. J is still from 1 to 10. Every time we increase I, j will remain 1 to 10. So now we're going to multiply 2 by all the values of j. So we're going to have 4, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, well done. Excellent. Now, what's the value of the I again? Well done. So the value of I now is the value of I is actually now 3 because we incremented 1. So we need to multiply 3 by all the values of j. So we're going to have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. What's the value of I now? 4, okay, and so we need to multiply 4 by all the values of j, so you're going to have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. What's the value of I? It's 5 now, so again we need to multiply the 5 by all the values of j, so we're going to have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. What's the value of I now? Done. Well done. I said that was a tricky question. Well done. So I feel you're. That's it, Abdul Mashallah. So you guys are actually with me. Well done. Now that's it. It's done. There's no more values of I, because I maximum's value is actually 5, so it can't go beyond 5. So well done. So that's it. So this is the output of the program. The program will terminate. So you have this output. Okay? Easy. Easy. I'm happy that you're understanding this now. Well done. Now I'm going to give you an exercise to do. I'm going to give you an exercise to do, and I'm going to open a forum as I usually do. I'm going to open a forum on Blackboard, and I would like you to share your answers. Now I'm going to give you this. I would like you to design a nested for loop that will give the following output. Okay, I would like you, this is sorry, two columns, sorry, come in here. I would like you to design a nested for loop that will print the following. It will print one, be accurate, right? 1 here, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay. Now it's not very hard, but it needs to be thinking. Watch me when I put the 1 here. I put the 1 here, then the next one, the 2 will be placed here. So see, there's all these spaces before the 1, and there's all these spaces before 2. Okay, so I want you to print it the way I've written it now. So you have 1, you have 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. 5. Okay, so in this order. I'm going to open a forum now on Blackboard. I'll call it week 10 exercise. I would like you to all try, open your compilers. I will only make those people who participate as attendee. Okay, only those people who participate. I don't care if it's right or wrong. There's no problem. It's an exercise. We are learning. Okay, so even if you write a wrong program, that's fine. But I want you to try. So I will only mark those people who participate as attendee. Okay, otherwise the rest of the people will class them as absent. Okay, I would like you, Anas, to create a nested for loop that will print this output. You will have 1, you'll have 1 here, you'll have 2, 2, in the next line you have 3, 3, 3 in the next line, you have 4, 4s in the next line, you have 5, 5s in the next line. Okay, as simple as that. You need to construct your if statement, right? For loops. Construct your for loops, right? Okay, off you go. I'm going to open the forum now for you to participate. Sorry, guys. I also wanted to make an announcement that it's for your own good. That in your slides, okay, if you have a look at your slides, in your slides, the Buffon, not the goalkeeper Buffon, it's another Buffon needle experiment is not included. Okay, so not included. The Buffon needle experiment, that's from slide. That's fine, Fahad. So from slide 64 to 73, okay, is not included in your studying. So it will not come in the examination. So don't worry about them. The Buffon needle experiment, don't worry about them. And after that, there's the debugger. In the debugger, just learn what the debugger is, just briefly. Understand the debugger. Okay, so after that, you have the debugger. Only just understand. Okay, just understand. Don't, there's examples and stuff, don't worry about them. That's, yeah, chapter 6. We're talking about chapter 6, are we? Okay, so these just for your information, so you don't have to worry about those. Yes, Faiz. Okay, that's Faiz or something. No, it's not confusing. Yes, Faiz. Alaikum salam. It's not confusing, Anas. Well, it is not very straightforward, but it's doable. It's easy. Well then, guys, I can see some contributions. Okay, let me do. I'll just solve it for you quickly. Okay. So before we go, for those who did not contributed, they have to write something now. Otherwise, they will not be. They will be recorded as absent. Okay, so just be careful. No, okay. So obviously you create your full program, but I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna only run through the. I'm just gonna go through the nested for. Now, okay, we'll have the main for. Now we'll have our I in here, so we'll just define int I. Int I equals 1. Okay, and we'll set a final value for it as well. So we say I is less than or equal. Just give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Okay, sorry guys, I keep having visitors in here. Okay, so we'll say, so we'll start the I. So I equals 1. J, we'll give it a final value. Sorry, I, not J. Sorry, I equals 1, and then we'll set a final value for I. So we'll say I is less than or equal 5, for example. Sorry, this is just my mistake. Okay, and then we'll increment I plus plus. Okay, now. We'll have a for inside. Sorry, a for inside. Now in this for, we're going to say int j equals 1, but we want j to be less than or equal 5 minus I. I'll explain this in a minute. And then we have j plus plus. Now what's going to happen? Okay, before I say what's going to happen, let me, so I'll write the function, what's going to happen now. So we say system.out.print, not line, just print, a space. Now, what's happening here? Now, do you remember I told you, you need to leave spaces? Okay, so now j is actually leaving spaces, which is why j is actually the value of 5 minus 1. Okay, so if I is 1, how many spaces are we going to leave? 4 spaces, because again, here we are leaving space here. We are leaving space. Okay, so we're going to leave 4 spaces. Okay, so can you see the trick? Easy, right? Can you see the logic? Now, if I is 2, and we say 5 minus I is actually 3, okay, what's going to happen is we're going to leave 3 spaces. Okay, and so forth. So this is the idea. So this is how the spaces are coming from. Excellent. Okay. Now, so this is only for the spaces. What about, this is only for the spaces. What about the actual value? 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. Let's see what's the answer for that. So we can have another 4. That's separate 4. Another nested 4. Okay? Another 4. Okay, this 4 belongs to what 4? Which 4? This 4 belongs to which 4? Well done, the first 4. Okay, that shows that we can have more than a nested 4 inside the 4, and we can have 4 inside the 4, inside the 4, and so on, as long as we need them. Okay, so we need this. So we say 4. We'll give another. Obviously, we have to give another variable. We can't use the 4. You can't use the same one, otherwise there'll be problem. So we use k. We will use k this time. We'll say k equals 1. That's okay. K equals 1, and then we'll say, what do you think? Oops. K. Do you think? Okay. What's the final value of k? What shall we do? The final. Asil, we said the spaces are here. Asil, were you with me when I just explained? These are the spaces. So this function is actually adding the spaces. Okay, I just explained it now. You can just go back to the recording. Okay, so now this k, we set it to what? Yeah, well done. I, yes, exactly. To I, because now we want to print 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, and so on. So then we say k plus then system.out.print line. Okay, so sorry, we need a line here, just a line, and then sorry, no. System.out.print without a line, just print. Sorry, I. So we need to print the values of I. Okay, well done, Asil. Okay, so system.out.print and then I, and then eventually just I need to leave. We leave lines, or we just jump to another line. So we just say system.out.print line. And this is the end of it. So now what's happening? So the first one is leaving spaces. Okay. The next one is actually matching the values of the I. Okay. It's less than or equals I. So when I is 1, what's the value of k? Is 1. When I is 2, what's the value of k? 2. But why? It will need to print them twice because we have the space here. There's a character missing. Okay, so we need to fill the spaces. Okay, so we're having I printed again and again. So so it will be like 1, 1, and then we're incrementing k as well. So we printed twice. Now the next one is going to be 3 times because k is printing again. So we're printing I. Okay, and then I. So every time k increases, it's increasing the number of i's. Are you with me? So the first one is just an I, which is just 1. The next one we have k plus, meaning that we're going to print I twice, then I 3 times, then I 4 times, then I 5 times. Easy? Okay, I know that look, when you first saw it, you thought, okay, it's going to be complicated, but actually when you break the problem down, it becomes quite simple. Okay, it's quite simple. Okay, do you understand? I'm happy. By the way, I only have these few students. They can see Anas, Ahmed, Asil, Saad, Mahmoud, all these names that I can see now. These students who are contributing, they're always with me. And what I don't know about the rest. I always see these students in front of me, and I'm not sure about the rest. Okay. Well, actually, today is better. Today is better. But normally, these the names of Asil, Mahmoud, Abdul Majid, Saad. They're always Ahmed. They're all occurring. But today is better actually. Today I see more people. Today I see more people contributing. So that's good. Okay, that's good. I want you guys to be all the same. I want you all to be always participating. Again, I told you, this is the way. If you want to get good marks, this is the way to get good marks. You need to participate. You need to work hard to get your marks. Okay? Anyway, so this is the end. Actually, oops, we passed 5 minutes. I just realized. So we'll end the session now. And if you have any question, do please email me, and I'll see you inshallah next week. Assalamu alaikum.